20 episodes, 21 tonight. And surprise, guys, it's just us tonight. We're going to talk a little midsummer fishing update. Might not be our longest episode, but just kind of up to date and yeah, see what's been going on. We've got the fish only once together or twice this year. Senecaville and Portage.
Yep.
So yeah,
both tougher than hoped for, but we're in the money for Seneca, and Portage we're one good bite away from being in the money. So, but that was a fun one for me. Caught a bunch of fish.
Yeah, my first time there. It's about, I think it was a little over 2 hours for me to drive up there, but cool lake, full of grass. Learned a lot. Definitely want to go back and explore. It's a cool little chain. So
Yeah, that's one that I can always catch fish at, but I cannot figure out the big bite there.
yeah, seems like a mystery that just
I think a
kind
lot
of,
of people struggle with, honestly.
yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say. Just kind of being in the little bass fishing circle and knowing some guys around selling baits and stuff. It seems like there's a, a group of, a handful of guys that consistently catch, like they have put the puzzle together there. And then guys like Dean Yoder, who we had on here, and you, and I guess I can join that club now that just haven't quite figured it out, which seeing how that lake lays out with kind of just end to end grass, like I told you when we were fishing, I'm assuming there's some hard spots out there that are some hidden gems that kind of consistently hold them. And maybe they've just learned them over the years, but I mean, they've definitely got something figured out.
Yeah.
Talked to my buddy, I won't even say his name. He fishes there a lot, but talked to him on the phone last night, and he said it took 24 ish to win a night tournament there. 21 or 24. I'm thinking it was 24. Just a couple nights ago. I don't know when they have them, Monday nights or something. Not, I think it was like an actual into seems like they have a lot of after dark tournaments there. Sounds like.
Okay.
So they live there. They must be a little easier to get to bite after dark, but it's got everything.
Yeah. Too much of everything.
Yeah,
Like endless boat docks, endless grass.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
deep water, shallow water. It's mostly shallow. I'd say less than 10 feet.
Right. I I struggle on lakes like that sometimes because I'll just tell myself, which it works out sometimes. I'll just tell myself like just cover that grass and you'll run into them, like lock a spinner bait or a vibrating jig or something, or a rattle trap in your hand and just go. But um, sometimes you just don't find them. There's just so much grass. But
Yeah, I can do that for about an hour or two, and then I'm just like, this isn't it. I can't
yeah,
do this anymore.
it's hard when it's hot too to do
Yeah.
that. But we had fun. You caught some on your new frog you've been digging. I was flipping our 9/16 1099, a real heavy jig, just with a little cutoff beaver on it. I like that fast fall rate down into that grass. Seemed to get a few bites, and uh, I don't know, that seems like where you could tie on like a big 10-inch worm too, and probably crack a few. But
Yeah, I'm going up to New York. Well, by the time this one airs, it would have been last weekend. I would have been in New York. So this coming weekend, I'm going to New York, and the bays that I'm fishing are a lot like Portage. It's just straight grass. So I'm excited to throw that
nice.
frog a little bit. I'll have a big big worm tied on, and probably some kind of flipping bait, either a jig or a creature, and we'll see what happens.
What I mean is a quality fish the same up there as it is down here? They get even bigger? Or?
No, I'd say the average is a little bit bigger. If we're catching 1 to 3 pounders here, you'll catch 2 to 4s there.
Gotcha. They're healthy up there.
Yeah.
Water seem to be just better quality, like cleaner.
I don't know if it has something to do with the bays coming off of Lake Ontario, um, and just whatever's kind of feeding its way into there. But I know they're eating a lot of perch and bluegill and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So honestly, I couldn't tell you though.
When it gets hot, like we're kind of oh, I mean we're in the midsummer grind, like it's here. What's your what's your confidence? You go finesse on them or
Um, yeah, I mean, I always have a drop shot on my deck. Um, it's just one of those things that I know that you just pitch it up around boat docks and you'll catch at least keepers. Um, but as far as like being able to catch a decent one, I'd say probably a buzzbait. Just a
buzzbait?
little, yeah,
Yeah,
just a little 1/4 ounce with a frog on it and
yeah.
just cover water, hit shade lines.
Do you think there's a something to that? Which I mean, not to plug Blue Rock, but you throw that little quarter we have that has that real subtle little blade. Like, do you think there's something with that? Why that thing gets so many bites? Just because it's quieter and so many people are throwing big, like loud, clacky, knocking buzz baits now. Like, why do you think that thing gets? Because I've seen it. Like, you've put it on me with that thing.
Um, I think it's probably a combination of things. So yeah, you're right. Like a lot of guys are throwing the bigger 3/8, spitting water, um, throwing them with clackers, uh, and so this time of year, I mean, they start seeing those buzz baits flying all over the place. But I also think it has something to do with the putting the frog on it.
Yes.
Uh, and so I usually use the Stanley Ribbit Frog, which is now the Frog Factory Ribbit Frog. Um, just bite about 3/8 off the nose, thread it on there, and then you got those little feet just kind of kicking on the back, spitting a little water too. Um, and so the reason I do that is because that frog, it's denser, so it stays on the hook better, but it also helps you cast that 1/4 ounce a mile.
Yeah.
And so you can just cover a ton of water, make huge casts, and the frog kind of helps it plane up on the top a little easier with the smaller blade. Um, so yeah, I think it's a combination of it being subtle and different. Um, I mean, mine's squeak because I throw them a lot, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
honestly, I
you don't like
just know it
burn
works.
you don't burn that thing either. Like it's which I catch plenty of fish on it too. I just I was kind of wanting you to get that ribbit tidbit out of you because seems like on the like the inland lakes and stuff that have a little bit bigger fish, they still choke that thing down. But like on the river down here where I'm at, I'll either throw it with just the skirt, or I like to use a Biffle Bug Junior, which kind of has the two little claws and then has like that kind of spade like tail that comes down. But I
Yeah,
rip the tail off, and then it's just got those two little curled
like
appendages.
little hooks. Yeah,
Yeah, and that bait's actually hollow, so the bottom of that buzz bait can get in there, and that keeper hooks it. It's a great little trailer, and it's perfect because those appendages like just barely slip out back of the skirt. But um, I'd say something with the trailer helps because I've had days where they've eaten that thing really good too. But I don't know,
well,
get a little bait in
yeah,
the summer.
yeah. And another thing is like you see a lot of guys that throw like a naked buzz bait with a frog on it.
Yeah.
Um, and when I put a frog on it, like it, it's got a skirt on it.
Yeah, it's a
It's
big profile.
yeah. So
For
I don't know. I don't know. Like I've heard that when a bass kind of goes to suck the bait in, that trailer gives it a little bit more substance to kind of catch that
yeah,
suction. Because I've got really good hookup rates with it.
yeah,
Uh,
they get it. Good.
and and last time I was up in New York, I didn't have any frogs with me, so I just threw a little rage bug on it, and that worked fine too. But I just have a ton of confidence in
Yeah.
that Frog Factory ribbit frog.
Yeah. Confidence is everything for sure. Uh, I I like the buzz bait myself. I do. I do.
Um, I mean, since you mentioned that other frog from Portage, uh, so I got that. It's been out for a couple years now, but it's that Spro um, something 95 or 65, but it's a hollow body that has um, legs with that same little kind of boot tail type
Hmm.
paddle foot. Um, and dude, that thing's my new favorite.
That's your new bait of the year, right?
Yeah, that's definitely my bait of the year. In fact, I'll probably throw that probably the rest of the year over a buzzbait.
Yeah.
I'll still have a buzzbait tied on, but I'm probably going to throw that frog in place of a buzzbait.
Well,
Just because,
there's also certain places you can't throw a buzz bait, so that's a nice versatile frog to have. Um,
yeah, I mean, with that ribbit on there, though, I mean, you could throw it over mats and do okay, but you're still going to be picking weeds off the blade
yeah.
pretty much
Right.
every cast. Um, but one of the things I like about it is you get that similar buzzbait action,
Yeah.
but you can slow it down or just completely stop it.
Yeah.
And so it, I guess it would take the place of a frog, a buzzbait, a whopper plopper, um, just how versatile it is. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my new go-to.
Yeah. No, that's got a couple good bites on that thing. They like it.
Well, and what was crazy is the so when we fished that tournament, and this is you already know, but this is for the people listening. On the very first cast, fish was following it through the air, and literally as soon as it hit the water, I didn't even have a chance to engage the spool, and it hit, and it was a 3 pound retread, and like I mean, you get a bite like that on a bait that you just started throwing, and you're gonna instantly have confidence in it. So I hope it's
Yeah.
just not false confidence.
Eh, I mean, you caught another one on it. What 5 minutes later?
Yeah.
You'll you need to just keep throwing it and gaining confidence. I mean, it does look really good. So, um, but it could catch them everywhere. It could like I've got this category of weird baits that like I only work on like it'll work on Lake X, but it doesn't work on the next 5 lakes. But tackle's weird like that. Like there's always some lake where they eat something really well. It may be something that you wouldn't assume they would bite in every lake, but uh, it's just a whole freaking can turn your brain into scrambled eggs when you get to diving in them wormholes on why fish eat certain things or a certain color may be dominant on this lake that's you get into your flamingo colors and uh, stuff like that. But that frog it's juicy, man. It'll be a good one.
Yeah.
I came home and I grabbed me a couple, so um, I'm definitely gonna. I got a tournament at Indian Lake in late August. I'll be.
Oh, that should be juicy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll be. I'll have one of them tied on, checking things out. Because you can't. Like I love my buzz bait Um, but you just get her. I love my buzz bait on the river, open water or around just clean pads. But you get around a lot of duckweed like there is on Indian, like it's just hard to throw it, like you said, with the blade and something like that. A hollow bodied toad or a hard bodied toad. And I don't know why, but like in the past couple years, I've become more confident in a moving toad with like flapping uh, feet rather than like a traditional frog with just the silicone strands. Like I catch fish on the frog. I think I caught one at Portage on it because I threw that because you were throwing the moving toad. But seems like they like that thing moving. I don't know if it's just goes in that buzzbait category or they've just seen too many like walking style or like, just standard frogs or what, but I'm getting more confidence in like the moving style frogs for maybe I'm wrong, but uh I know they both work, but uh I don't know.
Well, and I also have a hard time slowing down. And so, like, that works for me because I can just keep casting and covering water. Whereas a traditional popping or walking frog, like, you're working it.
Yeah.
And then you make another cast and then you work it for another couple minutes. And this is just cast and go.
Yeah.
But what about you? What's your confidence deal this time of year?
Uh oh man. I love my buzz bait, of course. Probably like a little more technical with me is I like to up my weight. Like when I'll usually be flipping. I mean, if I'm you know fishing, I'm usually flipping. But like a jig, like we did at Portage, I'll usually throw the heaviest one I can, but I still like it compact. That's why I like at 9/16. And then I'll up my tungsten, heavier. I like faster fall rate this time of year. I like getting a reaction bite. That's probably the biggest thing that gives me confidence is just a faster fall. Um, I don't know why. I just feel like at this point in my head, they've seen, a bass has seen hundreds and hundreds of profiles of creature baits and jigs and crawl style baits, and I just they will still eat them, but I think if it just comes by them a lot faster, you're more apt to get a bite. Um, and they do get, I mean, I do get bites doing that, so it's just something I've always done.
So when you say a heavier weight, for me, I'm typically throwing a quarter ounce, and I'd say for me a heavier, like quarter and 3/8 are the two that I typically throw.
Yeah,
If I'm talking heavy, uh, I'm only I probably half ounce max. Like I rarely,
yeah.
rarely ever. I don't even know that I own any 3/4 ounce.
No, and I mean that's I'm speaking in terms of like a jig in the spring, early spring, like a lake like Buckeye Lake that's really shallow. I'll usually throw a 3/16 as light as I can because there's only this much water. Um, you want that thing sitting in that gliding through that column as long as you can to, you know, stay in front of one. But like, you gotta kind of stay relevant to like the depth of water you're fishing and stuff. Like, uh, if I'm fishing really shallow, like 3 foot or less, a 3/8 ounce tungsten on like a small beaver. I'm usually flipping either a small beaver style bait or a small jig with a beaver style bait on it as a trailer. So, um, you know, earlier in the year up to like spawn, post spawn, I'm talking 1/8 ounce tungsten, 3/16 or a quarter. And then this time of year, I'm going to switch to like 3/8 and half if I'm flipping like, you know, 4 to 6 feet of or wood with 4 to 6 feet of tapering bank under it or something. Now, you take a lake like Mosquito or Portage where you can get offshore and flip like 8-10 feet of grass. For sure, I'll go 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce tungsten, just because you want it getting down on them quickly. But saying all this, like sometimes too, it's still like it sounds so dumb, but it just depends on the day. Like,
Yeah.
there could be a random day in the middle of August where they just want it falling as slow as it possibly can. And that's what keeps us always scratching our head. But just
So we'll throw this in there. The Netman tech tip is on Thursdays. You always go half ounce.
there you go.
Yeah.
Thursdays you go half ounce. Oh shoot. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's hard to find confidence, period, this time of year. And a lot of these lakes, it's a grind. It's getting to be the time of year where um, it's just a little harder to wake up and be excited to go fish your local reservoir because you're going to be battling jet skis and wake boats and the whole deal, and you're going to be battling fish that have been beat up on and don't want to bite real well. So, um, if I had an actual tip this time of year, I would say, um, if you've never tried it and you feel like you got a safe enough area to do it, go night fish at your local lake. Put your boat in there about an hour before dark, and go meander around some of your favorite holes there till about midnight, just fishing the same stuff. Um, Maybe darker profiles like a black spinnerbait with a big Colorado, or just flipping a black and blue jig with a big flap and crawl on it, and you can catch some absolute tanks at night this time of year, and it's peaceful out there and cool. I really enjoy it. Um, but I don't get to do it quite as much as I want to. But that's just the phase of life we're in with the kids and everything right now. But um,
I've done that a couple times. Usually, our club will do one night tournament a year, and the biggest issue that I've faced is I'm used to like flipping up like under overhangs or under docks, and at night, like I just like you can't do it because you can't see.
yeah,
So you have to like be really good at skipping, or like just be okay with your cast being 4 to 6 feet short every time.
yeah,
And I don't think it makes as much of a difference as I think in my head
right.
because I don't know that they're necessarily relating to those overhangs the same way because they don't need
No,
that shade. They're just out roaming.
yep. I don't think they are. Now I feel like I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but like from my experiences, like at night, they don't relate as much to like a piece of wood or a boulder or something on the bank as much as they do just like edges, like a pad edge or a deep weed edge. That's where I seem to have my success. If I know there's a weed edge down a bank, I'll just back off the bank a little bit. You're not going to be able to go up and flip docks at nighttime like
Right.
that. And at night, I think that's when they venture away from everything and just kind of roam around, or like I said, in my experience, seems like they just kind of suck out to those weed edges and just probably just chill out there and wait for something to swim by, like your jig, and eat it. But I don't know. They definitely let their guard down at night, just like I said, buddy up at Portage. Like they eat at night. Like they're not as educated, and they're still just they're probably conditioned to eat at night this time of year. I mean, they get pressured so hard during daylight hours. So, but yeah, get out and do some night fishing. Um, it's uh, it's peaceful. Take a little bug spray and put a little headlight on. I usually just wear a little headlight, and as soon as I get hooked up, I just kick it on. Um, it's not that hard to do, but I don't leave a light on the whole time, or you'll be fighting mosquitoes and everything. But um,
Um, no, I as far as like summer fishing and just a tip, something that I've been gaining confidence in is just fishing the thickest, nastiest, shallowest stuff you can
yeah,
get your boat into. Um, like, I mean, some
who
of
got
those
who
fish.
got you into that? Just kidding.
Yeah, right. No, seriously, like when we were at Tappan, uh, like I would have never ever run through what you had me going through. Um, and then at this last tournament at Portage, you're like, hey, see if you can get your boat through there. And like, I had all the confidence in the world once we got in there, but
Yeah,
I mean, it was 12 inches of water,
yeah. Well,
and they were in there.
yep. And I think mentally, like, especially when it gets hot in the summer like that, you want to convince yourself like they're pulled out in deeper water and stuff. But like when it comes to all that vegetation, you got to remember that stuff's putting so much oxygen in the water. Like, I don't think it's really an issue up there, and they will get. Um, I mean, you can see some of them when you catch them. Their back is so black, which is probably just sunburn. Like they've been living up there all summer.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, uh, it's it's fun to do, and it's a fun way to catch them. But at the same time, like I think there's just as many laying out off the bank. But that's just like the type of fishing that I've come to be confident in, just by what I've always had is, uh, go to the bank and go a little further back into those little areas that 9 out of 10 boats probably skirt the corner and don't go that extra 100 yards back in that junk. And like it seems like, well, like at Tappan, we did that and caught 5 in there. Like, but seems like there's usually a good bite, like a bigger fish or a wad of fish that because they feel that pressure coming through every Saturday, boat after boat coming down the bank, and if they can get back in somewhere a little further to where they don't feel that vibration of that trolling motor coming by, like um, that's just naturally like that's exactly what you or I would do.
right.
Um, they're just trying to be left alone back there, but
Well, speaking of comfort zone and fishing shallow, you just got back from Lake Erie for that Icon tournament,
yeah,
which is the complete opposite.
right,
Uh,
right.
how'd that go for you?
Oh, the tournament day was not good. It kind of bombed out on us, and the fish we thought we had found out at Peely just weren't really there. And we committed all day because we knew if they bit, like they'd you know we'd probably get the right ones, and but it never it never came together. I will say the amount of sheephead in Lake Erie has got to be at an all time high. Like my freaking arm was cramping up. Uh, it, it's almost like demoralizing after you hook your 30th one, and it's again not a smallmouth, and it's just fish after fish after fish. But um, as far as the tournament goes, like as a guy that fishes tournaments, like I don't like to dwell on things, so I guess I'll just say have a short memory and forget about it. Um, I'd say uh, we got a couple bites while we were pre-fishing Saturday. We caught one that was probably over 5 pounds, and another one that was a 5 pound class smallmouth, and um, I'd say they just it was one of them deals that kind of tricked us, but um, we also jumped around a little bit more Saturday. We were getting most of our bites in like 18 to 20 feet, um, catching quite a few on a drop shot. I was throwing that our new triple threat in the 3/8 ounce, the one that's kind of prototype right now, but we're in the process of like making our first batch to go live to the customers. But it is absolutely perfect for that like 20 plus foot water on Erie. Like the fall rate gets it down there at a good pace where you don't have to wait forever. Like um, the even the quarter ounces, it takes a little bit longer, and if it's blowing more than 10 miles an hour, it's hard to even throw it. So caught a couple nice ones on that practicing. I was excited about that, and Jarrett caught a really big one on that new little football jig we got working on. And then
Nice.
the other quality fish honestly came on a tube, like good old faithful tube. But the
What
numbers, go ahead.
what size tube was that? The like 3.5?
So he was throwing a standard, like the 3.5, just a regular size, and I was throwing our little 2.75 tube junior. We were both using 3/8 ounce jig heads. Just that seemed about right.
Do you feel
But
like one got bit better than the other, the size wise,
uh,
or one had better quality
the
maybe?
quality was eating the bigger one,
Okay.
but I don't know. That could just be the depend on the day. Like it was blowing pretty good. Saturday there was a good 10-15 mile an hour breeze. Like it was Jarrett called sporty out there, and we got caught in a freaking storm out on Peely and tried to get back to Kelly's to shelter just till it blew over. And I told you a story already, but he checked his radar on the phone and he's like, "Man, look at this. There's a storm coming over St. Clair that just is like getting to the mouth of Erie." And I was like, "Let's go." And we were clear on the northwest side of Peely, and we came around we came around the island, and when you see that black wall of just ominous clouds coming your way, and it was just blowing a little too hard, like we were trying to bust through them, probably going 25-30 miles an hour, but it caught us we were probably like 2 miles from Kelly's, and um, Jarrett looked over at me and said, quote, "We're an explicitive," and then you feel that cool breeze start whipping, and the waves really pick up, and the rain, and it's a eerie feeling out there. Even you're a couple miles still from North Bay on Kelly's, but I mean there was two other boats that were even behind us leaving Peely that we were kind of really worried about them, but we all made it in there and caught our breath, and uh, just another day at the office for a guy that's probably a seasoned. Uh, like the guy I was with, he did great. Like he was very calm and collected, but you could tell he was you know he was definitely paying attention. But
Yeah.
what are you going to do? We were just and that's something Dad always told me about up there. Is like if you're ever out there and your instincts are telling you you should maybe go, you don't second guess it and you go. But we just kind of got caught up in fishing and catching fish, and just never really realized the storm was brewing up. So
Was it Weta that had the steering wheel come off?
yeah, yeah.
At least it wasn't one of those type of deals
Oh my
out in
god!
Lake Erie.
Thank God.
Uh,
Nah,
but
nah.
uh, how big would you say the waves were that you were busting through?
There was I mean they weren't crazy. It wasn't like thankfully blowing like 40-50 mile an hour gusts, but it got up as that storm blew through it, it probably got up blowing 20, 30 miles an hour for 10, 15 minutes there. That last couple miles we were trying to get to Kelly's and pouring rain. Um, I don't know how to judge them, but I would say, I mean, I'd say when we went out, they were two to threes. So probably when we were trying to fight through that storm, we were going about half as fast and we were getting pretty wet. So I'd say, maybe for the occasional rogue 5 foot wave, just, uh, nothing, like I said, again, nothing that's probably unattainable out there. Just, it was just a new experience for me, which, I mean, looking back now, I'm kind of glad I experienced it. It was not fun, but, uh, after something like that, like after you get through it, you kind of like feel a little tingly, a little adrenaline rush and all that.
Thinking about all the guys
But
staying at home on the couch.
well, we talked to a couple guys that like just stayed out at Peely and fished through it, and like those dudes, like there's some guys that uh, I told Jarrett like they had bowls of steel, but he's like, no, they're just crazy, they're just idiots. Like, but there's some hardcore dudes that just they don't care, and they're confident in themselves that they can run those waves. And for me, it's more like it just sucks, like doing like driving back for you know 45 minutes to an hour to slamming like my whole torso like is so sore right now, like just from the percussion of hitting them and stuff.
Yeah. Well, in the
um
ab workout, just trying to like
yeah,
stabilize
dude, like
your body.
um yeah, like, and I'm out of shape, so it don't take much to get me feel like I had a workout. But uh so yeah, if that tells anything, like kind of how hard we were hitting some of them, like I'm sore. So
Yeah.
I guess you could say that. But needless to say, you know, I had fun. We caught a lot of fish, especially Saturday, but didn't largemouth fish any of 'em. I get to go back up, I think September for a 2 day largemouth. Well, it's not a largemouth tournament, but it's only in Sandusky Bay. So
Okay.
um, looking forward to that, and may even try to sneak back up there, just to fun fish again. But
No, I'd say I'm about an hour to the closest boat ramp on Erie from my house.
yeah,
And like my boat's only 18 feet. And so like on a good day with a little bit of a south wind, like I could go out there if I wanted to.
right,
Uh, but I just know that like the weather up there shifts so quick and easy. And
yeah,
like my boat's a little bit smaller than I'd want to
yeah.
be on the lake with confidently. And so I've never taken it up there.
Yeah, I'll tell you the worst thing just from the mainland to Kelly's is just the giant pleasure boats, the yachts and stuff, or whatever you want to call them, cuddy cabins. But like when they get running around on a weekend, like they're probably more dangerous than any wave, any natural wave you could
Yeah.
run into out there, because they're all confused coming from different, it'll hit you rogue from the side or wherever, and um, they just don't care much for bass fishermen or like being courteous, like with the wakes they put off. But like, um, like you just you just have to be safe when you go up there. Like I've seen freaking tiny little dinghies ride clear out the just little V bottom aluminum boats go clear out the Kelly's. Like, and Kelly's isn't bad, but you get clear out to Peely, like that's I think the morning it took us I think 35 minutes, and we were running pretty hot. So we were running probably 45, 50 mile an hour average out through there, and it still took that's a long ways. I don't know how many miles Peely is, but it's gotta be, I mean, every bit of 15, 20 miles out there.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it's a really fun place, and I guess if you go up there just exploring for the first time, just always use common sense, and just remember that Mother Nature's undefeated, and she will get you out there if you play dumb. But
So how many boats were in that tournament? Roughly.
there were like I think he said 76 or 78 boats. Um I think 23 pounds and some change won, and I don't think I know who the guys were either. And then guy I know fairly well that they always do well up there, Jeremy Reese and Grant Gallagher. They got second place, and congrats to them. That was an awesome day, and they were I think just a little over a half pound back, so really one bite from winning. But either way, they qualified for the Dale Hollow event, and then I don't think I knew anybody else in the top five, but I think my buddy told me like only 43 boats weighed in fish. And there was probably a few like us that just like we threw our fish back out at the island. Just you're not even going to have a sniff at the money, and it's those smallmouth are a precious resource. So why beat them up and haul them 20 miles in there just to
Get your picture taken.
yeah, and possibly kill it, like and I didn't realize, like, until I was up there staying with a couple buddies last weekend, like, how negatively like, I kinda thought the gobies were a positive thing, like, for the fish just getting big and eating them, but, like, I didn't realize the gobies raid the smallmouth nests
Okay.
and eat the eggs like instantly. He was telling me there's a video somewhere that shows like a smallmouth that leaves its nest and like it just gets swarmed with gobies and they just gulp up all the eggs like in no time.
Just like little
S-
piranhas.
So yeah, so um that's probably a big reason of why Canada has a smallmouth season. I don't think there you can even go fish at Peely until I think he said it was a third week in June.
Yeah, New
So
York's like that too.
yeah, so April, May, June, you fish smallmouth tournaments up there, and you take them off the nest. Then the gobies gorge the eggs, and it kills the reproduction process of the smallmouth. And I don't know how you combat that other than uh, put a season on it. But
Well, and even then, so like in New York, like it's illegal to target them. So like I can't just go out on Lake Ontario throwing a tube
mhm,
because I mean, what else are you targeting with a tube on Lake Ontario? Uh,
right,
and so like if you do catch one, you have to immediately release it. Um, and so like even a format like uh, MLF, like you can't even target it. So
yeah,
like you said, as soon as you pull it off the nest or off the bed and then let it back in, like I mean
yeah.
that could potentially be too late.
Yeah, because and that's literally, I think, all it takes. And that whole time, those fish are nesting. Like I'm pretty sure they're like at a war with the gobies, like just constant spinning in circles trying to protect those eggs. So you got to imagine how big of a toll that takes on just wearing those fish out. Um, I mean, I'm sure a lot of them just die from exhaustion
Yeah.
eventually. Um, Now it's weird with the gobies. Like I've done a lot of fishing, like in Sandusky Bay, just largemouth fishing over the years, and I don't seem to run across gobies in there. So maybe when the smallmouth come into a lot of those shallower, like Presque Isle and um, I don't know what the names of all the places that are like popular spawning bays, but up through clear into New York. But maybe the gobies aren't up in there as much. But I know when we like go out on the lake and you're just fishing deep water, like out off the mainland, like every cast you're feeling gobies pecking your whatever you're throwing down there. So, um, but there are a ton of them. Hell, I caught probably a dozen gobies on a tube. Like they're
I
some
was
of
gonna ask that.
yeah, some of them are 6 inches long. Like they'll eat a full size bait, or at least try to. So yeah, it's crazy, man. And I didn't like hearing that. Like I never realized how much of an issue that was with them eating the smallmouth eggs. But yeah, I don't know. That's a whole how you ever combat that. Like they're there, and um, I think the sheephead are a bigger issue just
Just
because
as
they're
bad.
annoying to catch. But
Yeah. No, I mean those at least can be fished commercially.
yeah,
Uh, so
yeah,
uh,
well, they need fished commercially. There's a
yeah,
bunch of them.
last week we were up in East Lake for a work thing, and they had a couple of charter boats, and got to take my daughter out there, and um, she caught one for the first time. And I mean, they're fun to catch, but if you're not targeting them, they're
Yeah,
super annoying.
I'll tell you, sheephead or drum or whatever you want to call them. Like, if you just had like a first time angler that just wanted to, you wanted to let them get their line tugged on, and they don't care what they're catching anyways. Like that'd be
Yeah,
the thing to do. Just go out there and tie a tube on and take them to any rock pile on Lake Erie, and they're going to catch a few. But yeah, so I don't know. I did want to tell you I drop shotted the elusive dice ball quite a bit, and in particular, it was the Strike King tumbleweed. I bought a couple packs just to try out, and I did not see the magic. I did not catch one bass on it. Caught a couple drum. So I don't know. Maybe they just don't like them up there, or maybe I just wasn't wiggling my worm right. But I had them in my bag, and I thought I was going to pull them out and just have the secret sauce, and I was a little let down. But I don't know.
I uh, I got a couple packs of the Q bomb, and I'm gonna try them on like a weighted wacky hook when I go to New York, and just try to skip it up around docks. Um, so I'm hoping you just didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah. Uh, it, there's some nuances like I didn't realize like down here when I throw a drop shot just on these for on the river and around like cover and stuff, which I'll usually like have a little Texas rig finesse worm on it, but um I usually only have like a 8 to 10 inch leader.
Okay.
But I realized like at first like he was, just catching a lot more than me, and he told me to move that leader like up 12, even 15 inches, and it makes a difference up there. So um, the, the finesse game is the smallmouth finesse game is work in progress for me, but um, I, I like my largemouth. It's my comfort zone, but always learning,
Yeah.
always learning.
So I mean, aside from smallmouth in the river down there, what's the next best, closest thing for you, alum?
Uh, oh man. Yeah, Alum Creek is like as far as like just a quote unquote good lake to hit, you saying?
Yeah. Like if you wanted to target smallmouth specifically,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you'd probably
Yeah.
go to alum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, on the Muskingum River here, the furthest port pole north, which like here locally, it's just called the Dresden Pool, but it runs clear up into Coshocton. Um, it's got some impressive smallmouth in it, especially for like this region. But the bad thing is you almost need a jet to fish it. It's just super shallow. Um, and I mean, I don't know. I just can't justify buying a second boat right now just to fish that one stretch of the river because it's good, but it's not like go buy a second boat good. Like,
Yeah.
but if I lived on that pool, like I may just own a jet. But I've got a couple buddies with them. I haven't been on there in a couple years, but I'm going to try to get out. Uh, the kid that has just recently gotten into fishing and went and bought him a jet boat this year, and we'll try to go do a little fishing with him, see what he's all about here. But
Well, it- like it'd be easier for me to justify it for duck hunting
yeah,
and then just use it for fishing.
right.
But, but yeah,
And
to have a second boat for something
yeah,
specific like that.
yeah. Yeah, and he is a duck hunter, and I think that was kind of his. He bought a. I don't even know what the model was, but I'd say it was a probably an 18 something Express, and it was like a 2019, and I'm thinking it is camo, but it's set up for bass fishing, but kind of like I think it was just duck hunted out of before he set it up, but um, either way, cool boat. So my next boat might be an Express. You never know. I like them.
I love the idea of an aluminum bass boat.
Yeah,
Um, like I checked out that Lund a couple years ago, and man, I was so close to pulling the trigger on it.
yeah,
Um, and then I paid mine off, and it was like, well,
right.
I don't need a new boat now. But what's the rest of the summer look like for you, fishing wise?
Um, Nothing too crazy. Just I'm gonna get out, uh, get on the river when I can with the kids. Um, we've been trying to get out, which we just recently started, but trying to get out once a week. And me and my dad have a couple more. We've got a tournament on the river here. We got one at Indian, and then the 2 day end of the year fish off for the old bass clubs up at Sandusky Bay for a couple days, and um, between all that, like nothing really. Just try to get out and fish uh, when I can.
Yeah.
So business has been pretty good this year. Kept me off the water a little more than I'd like it to, but trying to regulate the growth and not complaining at all about that. So, um, but yeah, that's the only downfall to growing a tackle company is it keeps you off the water a little more than you want it to, but you get to hear all the stories through your buddies and customers. So, um, could be way worse.
No, I mean that's any job really.
Yeah, yeah,
Like because
yeah,
I mean we're in full swing with work too, and um, I'd say on average I'd get out once a week before, but the last year and this year I'm a couple times a month if I'm lucky.
yeah,
Um, it's a club tournament and maybe a practice day or so.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I got a couple more club events. One on Milton that I'm excited for because that one's usually pretty tough. But we do decent.
Yeah.
Uh, we got one coming up. I think it's in September at Tappan. Uh, I'm
Okay.
I'm real excited for that one.
I know where you'll be going.
Yep. Um, make that hour long trek and uh, yeah,
Cool.
and then we got another one somewhere, but I don't remember where. And I'm obviously not that excited for that
You,
one, but
you guys is fish offs in the beginning of the year, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll at our last tournament, we'll throw lakes in a hat um, and then we'll draw a lake for usually our first or second tournament of the spring.
Gotcha. Gotcha. There is an Ohio River tournament down in Belpre, the homecoming. I think it's usually in August, but I want to try to jump in that if we're not busy uh, that weekend with the kids or whatever. But I don't know. Jump in anything and everything I can as
Yeah.
far as that goes, or just get the boat out and go fishing.
Yeah,
So
I got that kayak over the winter, and I've taken it to New York with me a couple times, but like, and I fished around the house once in it, and like, I tell myself like, I could just go for a couple hours in the morning before work, and or in the evening after work, and it's been sitting in my driveway for 6 months,
yeah,
so I don't know. I'll try to squeeze a couple little outings in that. Right,
no,
right,
I mean,
right now it's an awesome thing to have, but I'm almost to the point where I'm regretting it just because I don't get to
eh,
use it.
nah, you're just working, man. I mean, you're like everybody else. I think, I think you hold on to it for just when you can use it. So
No, and I specifically got the one I got. Um, so when duck season comes, I can strip it down easily and just throw the dog and the decoys in it,
yeah,
uh, and we're slower at work, so that's a lot easier to get out every morning.
right,
I
right,
try to shoot a few
yeah,
featherheads.
yep, yep. I'm looking forward to fall myself. I mean, number one, I get to do a little more fishing. Um, this business naturally slows down a little bit there in the fall. Just uh, guys like me like to go sit in a tree stand and stuff too, but get to do a little more fishing and little hunting and kind of reset and get ready for spring again next year. But
Do you got your cameras and stuff out yet?
we just put out two cameras 4th of July weekend, and I'm going to let them. Well, we put out two on one farm and two on this farm. So I said that wrong, but I'm going. I just put them on mineral blocks, and I'm going to let them soak for a month. I did not put out cell phone cameras because I'm not going to get myself all freaking jacked up, and deer season's still 3 months away. So I told myself the last 2 or 3 years I was going to do that, and I didn't. And I finally did it this year just so I can relax and just sleep like a baby, just knowing those cameras are just. I'm gonna pull the cards probably around, I don't know, somewhere around probably the 5th of August. I'm gonna give them a month. So uh,
I
excited.
I've got mine out, but like I got to change the batteries. They've been out all year, which
Yeah.
hopefully they still work. But anyways, uh,
Probably full of ants now.
right. But no, I've been telling myself I need to go change the batteries because uh, two of the deer that I was chasing last year, once the weather broke, they were gone. So I think they're just summering in this little patch.
Yeah.
There's a little pond in the middle of it,
Yeah.
and uh, and so I want to see if I can find them, and if I can, then really push hard early season and
Yeah.
try to get one before they leave.
Yeah, I mean, depending on if you got beans or corn or whatever ag there, I mean, they could stick around. And we live in a bait state, so best way to get them to stick around is feed the crap out of them, try to kill them opening week. But I mean, in that big ag country like that, but they
Yeah,
got. It's weird up there in your parts, man, because you've got just all these little pockets of timber and bunch of fields in between everywhere, and there's just they got to travel so far just to get to another source of cover. Um, my buddy that I stayed with, Jarrett, over the weekend, he killed a 200-inch deer. Um, I'll have to send you the pictures, but and it's the same around his house, just like yours. There's he killed it late season, and there's just they travel so much between these little pockets. And that big deer you had last year at that pond, like it's hard to tell how far that thing went. It could
yeah.
could live 10 miles from there. But no,
Yeah,
no.
I mean, he was there all August and September, and then, like I said, like by mid to late October, I probably only saw him twice, and then after that, he was gone.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you got water and you got food there, so
Yeah,
hopefully he sticks around. And I mean, I didn't kill one last year, which I could have, but I just would have regretted it. So I laid off, but just never got on a really quality deer last year. Just a really weird year, but I'm looking forward to this year. I'm hoping that kind gesture I made on one deer in particular pays off for me, and I can catch up with him again this year.
nice.
So yeah,
Uh,
good chat.
yeah. Well, I'm pumped that we've got 20 episodes down, 21 now,
Yep,
and hopefully we can squeeze out another 30 by the end of the year. Uh,
right.
but
Maybe maybe
have to
start throwing in some bonus episodes with some vendors and stuff from the expo. Uh, yeah, try to just keep putting stuff out.
well, and I we're definitely at a point now where we need to hear from you guys.
Right.
Uh, what are you liking about the podcast? What would you like to hear more of, or even less of? Like, I mean, just shoot us a comment that just says less of Jesse talking, and we'd be fine with that.
Yeah. No, seriously, yeah. I mean, I think, at this point, 20 episodes in, like, I've had dozens of buddies and customers and stuff just text us being nice and, saying they love it and yada yada yada. But like, uh, and I'm looking at everything. I mean, I think we could confidently say there's a few hundred people listening, but we want to grow it. We want to keep, having guests on, and we lean bass just kind of because that's what we know and like to do. But we're open to, you know chit chatting about whatever. More on the, uh, you know we could talk tackle. We can talk more of the natural resources side, which I think we're going to continue to dig into that. Speaking of, we inspired Doug Clifford to write an article about why they should stock bass in the Ohio Outdoor News, and he's going to source us for some comments and stuff, I think. And he's interviewing some high level people with the state and stuff. So um, we might, we might just start something there that we can all keep helping get behind and figure something out to maybe make the resource a little bit better. Not stalking so much, but habitat and the whole deal all works together. So if
Well,
that's something cool that may come out of this.
no, and I mean, and I can speak for Jesse. Like, we don't want to be those guys that are like, smash that like and subscribe button. Um, but it really does help as far as getting this type of issue and topic in front of others, just with their algorithms and all that nonsense. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, if you guys are finding value in this and want to kind of help this grow and help us get some of those topics in front of more people, then please definitely subscribe and at least let the video play in the background while you're working.
Yep.
More people can see it, but
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be huge.
Or just a freaking quick like review. I mean, it doesn't take long. Just anything helps.
Yeah, a little click that thumbs up icon and
Smash it, baby!